This is the prime how our cerebral cortex develop. So this cerebral cortex, as it is advancing with all the experiences, it is growing. It has control to whole activity of your body. So there are different centers, the prefrontal frontal cortex. There are different regions which control your brain. And also one thing is very important, that comparatively embryology says that some animals have some features similar to them because they have recent common ancestors. Like what we say is chimpanzees, apes, they are just very close ancestors to human beings. Similarly, squids, octopus, they come very close to each other because they carry those comparative uh, memories which is there. And common ancestry, because we have got these ancestors of the past which are there, we have comparative anatomy which looks similar at similar body parts and is explained by evolutionary. The most important point to this is, when you talk about common ancestry, and if you talk about our evolution, you know this point, that at this stage of embryonic development we cannot distinguish this is a tadpole or this is a human embryo, because at the embryonic age or the pre-embryonic age we are very similar to the ancestors of our origin. What we know, this embryo at this cannot tell if it is a human or it's other vertebrate. So this common ancestry says that we are carrying instincts coming from the ancestors too. So when you are treating a mental retarded or a congenital cases in our Hope for Hopeless camps, which is a blessing by our Bade sir, Dr. Prafull Vijayakar sir. So when we are treating them, we need to trace back to whatever experiences the mother has had during the 9 months of pregnancy, during the stages of development, and where the development was arrested. So, what you find most significant has to be seen. So, one more thing to add to this desert is that you all know that people call that we can give you medicines so that you can have a male child or a female child. So, tell them that this is a super model machine which has developed, come into evolution since millions and billions of ages. So it is not under the control of human being to decide the sexual growth of the fetus, because this is the first division which takes place. The cells divide at the primary level. The first distinguishing feature is it is going to be XX or XY. So you are not even aware. And you all know that this fertilization process is the super secret uh, project of our life. Matlab, even if you had a good sexual life, still you won't be able to tell that next menses will be missed or you will conceive, because this is the super project, top secret I should say, what is not in the hands of human being. Because during the time of fertilization, when XX and XY is decided, even the mother is not aware that she is going to conceive. So anyone who fools the patient telling that 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs and we will change the sex, so don't play with them. Because tell them this is the super model decided by the god. Anywhere in the world it is not like that, that USA has got only female child, India has got only male child. Maharashtra gives birth only to females, and Maharashtra, Kerala gives birth to only males. So this is being decided by the evolutionary world. The evolution is such beautiful that there is a balance between male and female, so beautifully maintained by this evolution, that there is nothing like that as an imbalance. We as human being, because of syphilis, if we try to destroy it, that is a different feature. Because we are in the 20th century where everything is less. We have children who are fatherless. We have kids coming up who are mannerless. So there are lot many lessons which are coming up. We are into a century which is wireless. We have phone which are cordless. So we have children who are fatherless. So we are playing with the nature, and therefore sir says key sections, LSCS or these IUDs, and sorry, IUD is not IUD, the IVF children, they are born syphilitic children because they are against the nature instinct of natural fertilization which is taking place, and therefore these kids are born syphilitic. And even astrology says that the if you are trying to play with the timings of the kids and you decide that this is the time where you want to get the LSCS done, that astrological horoscope carries no meaning. So this is the correlation and how we differentiate from a single cell ovum, from a single cell sperm to the whole fertilization which takes place. And as the fertilization takes place, the three embryonic levels are found formed. As we all know, the endoderm, which we have seen, started from the digestive system. This was the basic unit for our existence. We needed an anal we had a mouth and an anal opening, only two things. So this endoderm was something which was very primitively present in the universe for our existing. So we see here the lungs. We have seen lungs, right? Do you remember the lungs had come up, the digestive system has come up? So this was all the endoderm. Then the mesoderm, that is, once the heart was built up, then the circulatory system started advancing, then the lungs started advancing, and then the skeletal system and the muscular system came up. This we have seen when we saw the fish. Then the ectoderm started developing, which was covering the hair, nail, skin, nervous system. And as we all know, inside the womb, that which is the luxury apartment, the skin is still developing, and the ectoderm is still there functioning, because the neuroectoderm is something again going back, connecting the ectoderm to the nervous system. So we will take the embryological development if we want in advance in our lectures ahead. But what is the significance of this whole lecture series what I have taken today? How to correlate. So when we are dealing with these mental retarded children, we need to understand what is the structure, what is the function, and what is the difference. So we know that in the first trimester gives importance to the structure. Structure means all the basic units which take place. The structure is defined that I want a male child. I'm going to give birth to a male child with a healthy heart, with a healthy lungs, with all the systems being developed. So all the primary units, they come into play. Then the second part of the trimester, that is the physiology which works. So it is like I want to make connections between them. And the third, where the intellect develops. So we also know that same thing in the evolution also, brain and the nervous system was something which developed in the later parts. So the calculations, the intellectual part, it has developed in the later parts of the development of the fetus. So that is 7th, 8th and 9th month, where the intellectual parts develop, the logical brain develop. So the mother, if she has got a sound pregnancy 8th and 9th month, then her intellectual child will take into birth. Okay. If the mother has got sound senses, she was very happy, in the second trimester she will have a healthy baby with good senses. But if the mother had an experience, some bad experience during the second trimester, where she did not wanted to hear something or did not want to see, the eyes or the ear will not function in that way. So going ahead, similarly, if it is a structural deformity, the structure is not well developed, it is the first trimester. So now this endoderm, which was there primitively, mesoderm and ectoderm, even in the embryonic development, only endoderm and ectoderm are there, and mesoderm divides in between. We will take three embryonic layers, and how they develop, you will understand this. So, in conclusion, this endoderm is important for survival, right? This is the most primitive part since beginning of the life, and it is there as our first instinct, and it is important part for continuity of the life. It has physiology of digestion and excretion, the survival for air and lungs. You tell me without endoderm there will be no life. So when you are treating a comatose patient, when you are treating a patient who is just on the deathbed, the first instinct should come up is a normal breathing. In a cardiac patient, the first instinct should come up is a need of oxygen should go down. If you are treating a bedridden patient, put up on ventilator, and if the patient just wakes up, opens the eyes and says मुझे बहुत भूख लगी है, but the oxygen saturation is going down, remedy is wrong, because the first instinct should be that improvement in her need for oxygen that has to come up. So when we were treating COVID cases, this lecture has helped me a lot, because the survival instinct which was there in the beginning helped me to understand key air and this breathing is something which should be there. So the primary instinct, the endodermal function of digestive, liver, pancreas, lungs are very important for survival, and this is there very very important system, because it is for survival and for existence of my life, for beginning, from beginning of the life until continuity. People won't agree with me at this point, but once you experience it, you will find the answers by your own self. And this was something which was given as a googly to us, because we always thought ki ectoderm was something which was developing, but ectoderm definitely was there, but endoderm was something which was very important for the survival, and this I could understand through evolutionary development. Now, mesoderm is for locomotion, and we see that it is for support of the packaging material. The bones came out of insecurity. Why did bones come up? You all know that bones came up when the whole structure started developing. I told you where the fishes started having that exoskeleton or the skeleton part, because for the protection of the important organs and tissues, it added value to life, it added some structure to the life. Before it was all jelly like, something very flexible, not having shape and forms, but then a shape was required, some structuralization was required, all the important organs were needed to be protected, giving value to the whole system. This is the function of the whole mesoderm, which has developed over a period of time, and this is what we are today as a part of this developmental mesoderm. And ectoderm is definitely developing from neuroectoderm. This has got a strong sensory system, the nervous system. It is outermost covering. It is a communication of the outer world to the inner world, last to develop, and it is still developing. The exoskeletal time, when we were faced to the enemy, it binds all the organs and integrates them, maintains communication, coordinates, and ectoderm is first and last to develop. As you all know, the whole cycle of development is all round. Sora giving rise to psychosis, psychosis giving rise to syphilis, and syphilis again going rise to Sora. So endoderm, mesoderm, ectoderm, neuroectoderm. So this is the whole cycle which we will see in embryology. When we see, first we needed to understand how we have developed. So we started our life existence force from this Maslow's theory. We will understand that before, in the primitive life, we were sticking to only breathing, food, water for existence. But as we started advancing, we started developing our families, we started developing our self-esteem. We went ahead to this process of self-actualization. So in the primitive life, we are stick up with only breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, and excretion. So this is the most primitive life what we are living today. And this we will see in all most of the mental retarded cases who are bedridden. They are living their life only on the survival of physiology. They have no other instinct which has been developed. So they are in the lowest part of this Maslow's theory. They are stuck up, their whole life is stuck up in the physiology. They have not gone ahead of love and belonging. They don't understand the safety needs. They don't know what is dangerous for them. You see a hyperactive child, they will jump there, they will go ahead, and they will just jump here and there, run here and there. They don't feel that they are in danger. They don't have that fear of danger. And when you are treating a mental retarded children or an hyperactive child, if the child starts getting the instinct of fear, this is very good observation and you are in the rightest direction. I'll tell you, I have a child who is very hyperactive, and nowadays the parents have told कि now he can understand this is danger. मैम पहले तो चाकू उठाता था, हमको डर लगता था कि चाकू से काट लेगा and he will injure himself. Now he has become so settled that if we also give him knife, he say no, 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 it will hurt me. So that safety need has come up. So definitely the case has advanced from physiology to safety need. That means it is a right process of cure. You are in the right direction of cure. So Maslow theory not only helps you in assessing the cases as we have taken previously in our lectures, but also in understanding the right direction of cure. So this security need is there. Then love and belonging. Few kids, they are very clinging. They have got that clinging attitude. That doesn't mean that they want love and affection. It is out of that fear. They don't feel safe. Kangaroos keep their kids inside that packet pouch, what they say, and therefore they cling to the mother. So it is not the love and belongingness. Don't interpret in that way. So there are different mental retarded cases coming up, and how you interpret them, what instinct and what level of evolution the life has just stopped. Please understand what level of evolution they have stuck up. Is it the threat of survival? Is it, you can ask directly mother ki what was your threat. If the child is just stuck up to the basic need, ask her ki was your survival so difficult. In maximum mental retarded cases you will see, yes, the survival of mother was really very difficult. There was no food at home, there was always a threat, there was sexual abuse by the partner, and the partner was always giving the threat that if you don't do this, I will kill you, I will kick you out of the house. There was lot of insecurities for the survival. So understand, if this is there, that means the mother had that survival fear. And go back and understand, if the endodermal organs are getting affected, that means at the primitive phase of the life there was threat for existence. At the basic level, at the starting level, the mother has rejected the pregnancy. It was an unwanted pregnancy, and maximum kids are coming up with a hypersensitive respiratory diseases where the lungs are not getting developed. You will see in the history that the endoderm, this is endoderm, right? So endoderm, that is air which is for survival, is affected because mother says I don't want this child, I refuse to accept this pregnancy. This is an unplanned, unwanted pregnancy. Most of the children, you will find that they will have respiratory diseases. Right? You go back to your cases and you will be amazed to see that all the adenoids cases, there are forceful parenting. In the respiratory diseases, you will see that the mother in the initial part of the pregnancy did not accept, was not aware of the pregnancy also. Similarly, when you feel that the diseases of the bones have developed, so this is because of the value system, esteem. So mother is fighting for the existence in the phase of esteem. She has been repeatedly insulted by some of the partners, insulted in the family. She's been fighting for her own position in the family. Where do I belong? Many pregnancies, I'll tell you, these are the ladies who have been working ladies before the marriage, and after the marriage they had lost their whole identity, their whole personality. They have to bend because of cultural conflicts or for the emotional reasons, whatever it may be, but they are required to bend, and you find lot many changes over here. And ectoderm, definitely there is a communication. So the mother fails to communicate to the world. Mother It's the nervous system. If I'm not allowed to speak out to the world, if I'm not allowed to express myself, there is lack of communication affecting the ectoderm and the neuroectoderm. So I can enlist the diseases, I can enlist you with the major causes which you can correlate through the developmental embryology. Ki yes, if my child is behaving like an animal, he is just snatching what level of development he has got stuck up into, and where and why he has developed such a disease. And when you get a cause, you are able to treat the disease. This is what aphorism number 74 says, that if in order to combat, to completely destroy, it is the first instinct is to maintain the life against the inimical destructive attacks. So whatever is possible at whatever level, first is to deprive, is that is sora. First, there will be adaptations. What we have seen in the previous was Sora, that was the basic instinct of the life for survival. And when it goes into psychosis, it goes into contraction, induration, dilatation, or something which exalts to excessive degrees. We saw in the psychotic phases, lot many creatures, they have grown into huge sizes. So in psychosis, you see that they grow over. So there is growth, and when it is into the phase of destruction, when their animosity comes up, the things get destroyed and syphilis creeps inside, giving complete destruction either of the organism, or the exterior is something destroyed. But here also I'll tell you one most important thing. Key here also, if the adaptive mechanism, what is the instinct is survival of the fittest, that is survival instinct. And second thing I have told you is adaptation. You remember two things, one is survival and one is adaptation. So body is trying to adapt so that it can survive. ठीक है. So what happens is कि the weaker organs, the weaker tissues of the body which has been given to you by the ancestors, the weak and organs being given to you by your ancestors, first thing body will say is, if I have to deprive some of the part of my body, so why not deprive something which is given to me by the ancestor. Aphorism number 83, what we had taken, that it has been transferred through the genes from generations. So this was the genetic constitution which is being developing through all these phases of adaptation. So what is weak end organ, I will compromise with that weak end organ rather than giving up with my whole organism. So what aphorism says, that this ancient infecting agent has gradually passed in some hundreds of generations through many millions of human organisms. So what this aphorism connects to 74 is that rather than compromising me with my whole body, why not compromise with me some infecting part which is being transferred to me through my parents, through my progeny. So this is where the role of fundamental miasm comes up. This is the part where the role of congenital or genetic disorders come up. Ki already I have a weak gene, so why not compromise something which is a weak end organ rather than crippling the whole body externally and internally. So again, the instinct is for the survival, for the growth, for the hyper purpose of existence. So this is where I connect. The first aphorism what we have entered through was our motive to understand this divine science through nature's law, getting into connected to how nature behaves through evolution, how we have come down to what we are today with all the basic instincts into the brain, with all the memories into the brain. So when you are taking a case, when you are going into the deep case taking, you are trying to unlock those subconscious level of fears, the delusions, the wrong belief system which the patient is carrying into the mind, leading to destruction into a certain part of the body. So you are trying to see the body in reflection of the mind. You are trying to understand. I always come into a conclusion, this is the body and this is the mind. Just combine the time, mind and body, and see the remedy unlocks. So this is the beauty of the nature's law, understanding how homeopathy has evolved, and this is how we have evolved in this universe. And if we are adapting the best, we will survive. If we are not adapting, the worst part of today's generation is they have a very poor adaptive mechanism. This is what even today's generation, therefore they are facing lot many crises. They are going to syphilis because their adaptation is very poor. You ask a single child of 6 months, you want to eat, he will say no. For everything there is no. And they have become very dominating and obstinate. We can take each disease and understand why they are behaving like this. But evolutionary embryology, understanding of Maslow theory with adaptation, where adaptation fails, why in a certain patient the adaptive mechanism has failed, will help you to unlock the whole case. If any queries, any doubt, please you can ask me.